Question was find first and last position of element in sorted array. So we are given a sorted array and we are also given a target value. So we need to find indices of first occurrence and the last occurrence of that target value in the array. And array is already sorted. If the element does not occur in that array, we have to simply return -1 and -1, right? So we have a vector of size 2 that we have to return, and this question can be done simply in big O of n. We can just have a one for loop and we can just put our first occurrence indices in both the indices of our output vector, that is at indices 0 and indices 1. We put the indices of the first occurrence of the value, right? And we just keep moving until, and each time we get new value indices, we just update our second value in the output vector, right? So vector have two values at index 0 and index 1. So at index 0 we are going to just keep the first element that we found, and we also going to put our first element found in the index 0 as well as 1, because it may be possible that in whole array only one element exists. So the index will be same for the first and the last occurrence of that element, right? But if this is not the case and there are more than one element, then we are just going to update each time we find that target value, right? Suppose we have array 2, 4, 6, 8 and 8 and 8 and 9, right? So we just make a for loop here. We can just make a for loop here till the first occurrence of 8. Whenever we get first occurrence of 8, we are going to push in our vector, and we are going to put in the both at index 0 and 1, because it may be possible that there is only one value present. So okay, so we are going to push it, right? And if we got it, then we can just keep our loop moving until our value is not equal to the target value. So it will keep moving till here and it will stop here, right? At this point, every time we are going to update our output vector index 1 with the new index that we got, that is this index. Then it will found 8 again and it will going to update index 1 again. So this is our simple big O of n complexity solution, but we have to optimize the solution. We have to do it in log n time, right? So how we can do it? So the simple solution is we can just apply binary search, because in this question it is already given that array is sorted array, right? And we can apply a binary search in sorted arrays. So idea is first to check if element is exist or not. If element exists, we can do two more binary search on their left side and on their right side. If element not exist, we can just simply return output with -1 and -1, right? So yeah, here we have. So let's see the solution. I will explain whole solution, right? So don't worry about it. So here is the function signature. We have to return vector of integer that will contain two values, first index and the last index of that target value, right? And the function name is search range. Function have a vector input called nums and target. Okay, so here we have declared here we have declared vector output of size 2 because we have to output first index and last index. So we have declared a vector called output. We also have declared some variables because in binary search we need two variables, low and high. So low is initialized with 0 and high is initialized with size, and that is size -1 because array starts from 0. And index, this is going to store our output index, right? So we can just say that index is -1 initially because it may be found that element is not found, right? So it will be our output as it is, but if we found, we are going to update index value, right? Now we are applying binary search. This is the binary search code. So here we are applying while loop till low is less than or equal to high, and we are taking mid equals to low plus high minus low divided by 2. We are doing like this because if we have very big integer, like if we add low and high and both are very big integer, they can overflow, right? So it is a good idea to write this type of thing. This can save us from memory out of bound or any such type of errors. So yeah, we are doing simple binary search here. If we found element, we just put that index, mid index in the index value here. Else index value is going to be -1. So we are checking if element exists or not here. If index value is less than 0, that means index value is -1. It means that element does not even exist. So we can simply put -1 and -1 in the output vector, right? But if element exists, then we have to find range from where to where it exists. So we come in else part of this solution. So else part is little big, but yeah, simple. It is simple. So we have to apply binary search 2 times, right? That is, we have found element, right? We have that index where we have found element. Now we have to apply binary search on the left side of that index and also to the right side from that index to the end of the array, right? So yeah, we need 4 variables here, low one and high one for the left side binary search, and low 2, high 2 for the right side binary search. For the low side, we are initializing low 1 with 0 because at the left part of that index the first value can be 0 index and the last value can be the index itself, because it may be possible that suppose the array element are 1 2 3 3 4 5, right, and 3 6. So here we have 6 elements. In binary search, what we do, we divide n by low plus high by 2. So here let's add one more element. So we have a 7 element. In binary search, what we do, low index plus high index divided by 2. So here low index is 0, high index is 6 because we have 7 element, and divided by 2, right? So this will give index 3. No. Suppose we have 5 element, 6 element. So it will be like 2. I'm sorry for that. Suppose we have 5 element. This is array 5 element. Low low is 0 and high will be 5 because n minus 1 is our high. So 0 plus 5 equals to 5 and 5 divided by 2 will be 2. So our mid will be 2, right? So here it's 0, it's 1, it's 2. So we found element 3 at index 2. Suppose 3 was a target value, and so we just found 3 at the first place, right? That is why we are including, we are taking high of the left side as index, because it may be possible that there is no element, no other element, no more element, right? But it is a element, so yeah, it will be the first element. Cool. So let's delete it. So yeah, we have initialized 4 values, and for the right side we are also initializing low to with index, because at the right part of that found element, our low would be the index, right, and our high would be the last element of array. So yeah, this is the last element of array. So now we are applying binary search on the left side. Low one is less than or equals to high, and we are just calculating mid from that, and we are just applying this binary search. But there is a one modification in this. It's not a simple binary search. Actually we are not going to break, right? When we break, we have to think when we break. In simple binary search, if we found element, we just break and come out of the while loop, right? But in this type of binary search, we just keep moving until we are getting this target value. So we are just keep moving one step until we are getting the same target value. So yeah, mid equals to 0 means it's the corner case actually. If it is possible, if there is one element and mid equals to 0, then we need to break, because we can't go further left side, because if we go left, it will be like mid equals to -1, and -1 is going to throw error called stack overflow or array out of bound kind of error. Yeah, so yeah, this is the corner case we are taking care of, and we are also taking care of if this is not the case, mid is not equal to 0, that means mid will be greater than 0. It may be 1 or it may be 2 or anything. So we can just simply check mid -1, right? Because if we -1 from mid, then we are not going to out of bound array, out of bound memory exception or anything. That is why we are checking it. So in the else part, we are checking if mid is greater than 0. Obviously it will be greater than 0, but still I am checking it. And nums high -1 is not equals to target. So we are going to break when our previous element is not equals to the target. If our previous element is also equals to target, we are not going to break, right? And if our previous element on the left side of the found element is not equals to the target, then we are going to break, and the index where we stand will be our answer, and we are going to store in high 1, right? So it is our first index of the output. It is our first index for the answer. Okay, and if it is not the case and target is equal, then we just simply do high 1 equals to mid, right? Else part is exactly same as we use in simple binary search, and this is the right side of the right side binary search that we are going to perform in the right. Here we are taking low 2 and high 2. We are doing the same, but simple modification in this part. There we are checking for 0, but here we are going to check for ahead. We are checking +1, right? So we have to check if the mid is not equals to the size -1, right? So here corner case will be different, and yeah, this is our if condition. Here we are checking if target value that is found is not equal to the next value which is present in the right side of that value. It should be not equal. If it is not equal, then we are going to break. If our found value is equal to the next value, that is the next value of the right side of found element, then we are not going to break, and we are just modifying our low with mid +1, right? You can see this code carefully and just try to think. It's really simple. Like there we were checking element before it, but here we are checking the element after it. If element after it is not equals to, then why we need to go ahead? We just need to stop there, right? That is why we are using break here. If it is equal to the next element that is present in the right side of that element, then we are just making our load 2 equals to assigning our load 2 with mid +1, right? And at last, after performing both binary searches, we are just putting our high 1 and low 2 in the output section. Actually their answer was in high 1, and for the right side of binary search we are taking answer in low 2. As you can see, we are using low 2 here, right? Because if we are standing at the mid, and if we go to the left, then our output will be high with respect to the that binary search, right? But if we are at right, and our output will be low part, low index with respect to the right binary search. That is the concept here. So yeah, we are just assigning high 1 and low 2 at the right indices of a vector, and we just returning output. So yeah, let's run this code. Cool. So yeah, it got accepted. I hope you understand this solution. If you did, please like this video and subscribe for more videos like this.